Now, suppose I tell you that, yeah, to you that you cannot use dustbin at your home, or you cannot kill cockroach in your home. So, what will be your reaction? Just for 1 second, what will be your reaction? So you'll say, "What the heck? Why you are bothered about my daily affairs, right?" That's the same question I should ask US. That for our daily affairs, why you are poking your nose? This is regarding this latest drama that unfolded by US. There's a 8-member parliamentarian from US, right? They have sent a letter to US government, and the lead is Savosky. I'm coming to this lady. Who is this lady? Wrote to Government of India on December 13, urged the Indian government to grant Khalid bail and ensure a trial in accordance with international law. The 8 US lawmakers also asked the government to ensure similar fair treatment to Khalid co-accused who to remain in jail. These two are Muslims, okay? I'm coming, everything is kind of map. Like, who the hell are you to poke your nose in our judiciary? So we are not asking. And what about international law? Why the trial will happen as per the international law? It will happen as per our constitution, right? So in this letter, McGowan, another person, another parliamentarian, and the other said strength of the evidence used to charge Mr. Khalid with terrorism is dubious. I mean, are you running the show for our country? Are you sitting in our police ecosystem and reading the chart sheet? How do you understand that whether it's dubious or not? Who tells you? Who tells you? Congress, Rahul Gandhi, who tells you? How do you know? You have the chart sheet copy with all the evidences. Did Indian government give you a dossier on this case? Now, again, on first, after taking oath, New York Mayor Joran Mamdani has written to Khalid and his parents also. Dear Umar, I think of your words and bitterness often and importance of not letting it consume oneself. It was a pleasure to meet your parents. So, how could you send this kind of letter to a person on trial and you are a mayor of New York City? So if I ask somebody like Yogi, Chief Minister Yogi, to write to, say, for example, uh, anybody who is on trial, a Mexican person who was invariably being convicted in a trial, if Yogi writes to that judge that this is not, or writes to US government that we will ensure we you should ensure a proper justice to that person, how US will feel, right? And why this timing? Why this timing is coming here? Do you know why this timing is coming here? Because probably this week or next week, uh, Justice Arvind Kumar and Justice N.V. Anjaria will pronounce the bail judgment, right? They have completed or concluded the arguments and the everything for the trial for bail plea, and they have reserved the judgment, and that reserved judgment will come out maybe next week or something, somewhat. And they are actually, the US are, those parliamentarians are actually pressurizing, not US Indian government, but pressurizing the judiciary, Indian judiciary. They are asking these two judge that, look, you are being seen from US and we will see your judgment. That's how the pressure is building. We have seen media trial, and this is what kind of trial we are talking about. A trial that is being framed or that is being run by US with the help from some of the section in Indian political system who doesn't know how to win the election. Now another question comes, like, how Umar Khalid is funding his entire legal battle. Umar Khalid is a research scholar from JNU, and he has Supreme Court senior advocate Kapil Sibal. His per day sitting fees is 15 lakhs, and there are other seven senior advocates. So per sitting, he's shelling out around 40 lakhs approximately. So how is shelling out? Who is helping for this fund, right? And if I analyze the entire 5 years history of those sittings and the entire legal battle, and I felt approximately around 7 to 8 crores. Not it's a very conservative estimate. Minimum 7 to 8 crores has been funded for only the legal battle of Umar Khalid, not his co-accused, right? Only Umar Khalid. Who is funding this money? Who is funding this money? And I don't know, a very very common people like us, or maybe a poor like anybody like us or somebody in India doesn't get any date in Supreme Court. You just file a case, this case will come after 10 years. And how does Kapil Sibal gets a date when he wants? I don't know. Is there a judiciary scam into this? How this is possible that when Kapil Sibal wants, he can anytime he can just file a case and get a hearing. But we common people don't. Where is this coming from? Now, how this Umar Khalid history of trials happened? Just giving a very brief. He was arrested in 2020, September 2020 to be precise, under UPA Act, which is a sedition act, right? And one of them was the Delhi riots. Investigation and charge sheet was completed in 2021, right? And then bail rejection happened in 2023, up to 2023, 2022, 2023. So court has denied his bail because the charge sheet was so strong, and there's a larger conspiracy. What court has actually, one of the lower court has told, there's a larger conspiracy. Then Supreme Court proceedings from 2023 to 2024, where Kapil Sibal was switching the court. Like when he was applying a bail plea in Supreme Court, suddenly he thinks, okay, no, it's wrong. I will go to the lower court. So he switches the court. So when you don't have your conviction that you will pass or you will fail, why you are applying or why you are filing the case? Why you are not filing the case in a lower court or the Delhi High Court? You are going to Supreme Court and then again thinking, no, I am withdrawing from Supreme Court. And so when you switch courts, it will take time. You don't have your fair judgment on your conviction that whether this case is a valid case or not, right? So if you don't have that conviction in your mind, how the judiciary will have? You are switching courts here and there, and you are saying that it is taking too much time. Too much time what? You are getting a Supreme Court multiple time. You are filing a Supreme Court case where a common people doesn't get time. It takes 10 years to file it to get a hearing after filing a court case in Supreme Court. Now, what is this anti-India ecosystem? Now, let me understand. What Rahul Gandhi in 2024 met Jan Sakoski, who has written this letter, right? Rahul Gandhi, United States, along with anti-Indian Ilyan Umar. January 2025, she reintroduced the Combating International Islamophobia Act, explicitly naming India and alleging that crackdown on Muslim community. So she is introducing Combating International Islamophobia Act in U.S. Parliament, right? And in the act, she is referring India as one of the case study. That here we are seeing a lot of Islamophobia. What type of Islamophobia you are seeing here? Who is giving this data? United Nations has official name 716 terrorist group, right? Out of which 705, calculate the percentage. They have identified 705 as Islamic terrorist group, 12 are Christian terrorist group, two others. So if you have around 90%, 95% of groups which are Islamic terrorist group, then how could you say there is Islamophobia? How could you say? There is no Islamophobia. Islamophobia is not real. It is again a narrative by West or by left liberal, right? Who give you the money? Who gives you the money? I'm asking Jan Sakoski, who gives you the money? Cut to 2026, the same Jan Sakoski writes to the government of India raising concerns over Umar Khalid. So every time there's an anti-India narrative that is being built, that is being consumed by India, one section of political ecosystem who doesn't know how to win an election. Mamata Banerjee is there, she wins election. Stalin is there, he wins election. Then Kerala chief minister is there, he wins election. There are many people who wins election in opposition spectrum. Only Rahul Gandhi doesn't won election. I mean, he can't win election. And the person who doesn't win election, he needs this kind of tactics, right? Vote chori, EVM, faulty EVM. Then he needs funding from foreign NGOs. Like there are many shell companies or shell NGOs in India who are getting fund from outside. And you need narrative to be built outside. Whenever an election comes, you go outside, abroad, and start your whatever Jodo Yatra or Toro Yatra from outside, right? So सब दिखता है इधर, सब दिखता है, मेरे पास सब दिखता है, मेरे पास सब डेटा है, because this data is not tenable in the court of law. That's the problem. सब दिखता है मगर यहाँ पे. So if US government ask or Indian government, say for example, Modi writes a letter to Trump, or Dr. Jaishankar writes a letter to Mark Rubio that I need Nikhil Gupta, who has been convicted or not convicted in trial for assassination bid for that Khalistani terrorist, right? Who is actually in US right now. Nikhil Gupta, who has been extradited from Czech Republic. If Dr. Jaishankar writes to Mark Rubio saying that I want a fair trial for this guy, there is some problem. Human rights violation was there. He was given non-veg food when everyone knows that he's a vegetarian. So this is part of the human rights violation. So if Indian government writes that please ensure that this is as per the international law, not US constitution. We want international law. How US government will feel? Right? And if I ask US government or maybe US, whoever it is, that you have taken Mexico, you have taken California from Mexico, you have annexed California in 1848, right? Bear flag operation, right? So it was completely annexed. So why then you are bothered about Russia annexing Crimea? So should there be a separatist movement in California? That should a foreign country start a separatist movement in California, saying that California is part of Mexico and Mexico should take that? Where was human rights that time? So there has to be some matured congressional thinking from US, right? They are calling India ally country, and then the mask is falling, right? And somebody again is picking up the mask and saying, okay, I am the ally of India. इधर सब दिखता है. I know everything. What you do, what CIA does in Northeast, the Christian dominated areas, right? And you're not directly contacting China or Chinese spy through ISI. You are contacting Chinese spy and try to create separatist movement in Northeast, right? So I have a perception, I have an opinion, very, very critical opinion, and I guess most of the world people will accept that. If we delete two countries from this world, US and Pakistan, 90% of the problem will solve. I'm telling you, 90% of the problem will be solved if we just delete US and Pakistan. Do you know that who is doing this war between US and Ukraine? There is a one mask somebody is wearing that I am Trump and I will do a peace summit between Ukraine and Russia. And somebody back is wearing another mask and bombing either Ukraine or Russia. It's called, what is this called? Military industrial complex or military defense complex of USA, who is who is actually the guns lobby and the military defense ecosystem of US is doing everything, right? So this is what we are seeing everywhere. So this is my true sense. If you are treating India as your ally, you should have a consistent and matured foreign policy. Look at India; their foreign policy has not changed. We were non-aligned, still we are non-aligned in this multipolar world. We are not going into unipolar world, though there is a unipolar possibility. We are not going into that. In this multipolar world, we are again have a non-aligned, and we are not doing anything to our ally. We are not telling Canada that there should be a separatist movement in Quebec, though they are actually fanning out Khalistani movement. I am saying more the previous regime, not this regime, but they have done that. So if I said that, if India say that, okay, we have to just now start some separatist movement in Canada, for example, Quebec. So we don't do that. We are very uh, matured. We have a very matured system. We have a very matured foreign policy, and we are consistent. I guess this should be looked at from the perspective of consistency, and also from the perspective of that in this multipolar world, nobody should treat any country in a way, or should not blackmail from the mask of human rights, Islamophobia, liberalism, right? So you were scared about communism, right? For last 100 years, but you love communism in other countries. You spread communism in other countries. US love democracy in his homeland, but US hate democracy in other. They want dictatorship in other country so that they can buy the dictator, just like in Pakistan, in Nigeria, or in Africa. They doesn't want democracy in other country, because that's the problem. Because when there is a democracy, that democracy can withstand US. That's the problem. Thanks for watching.